Welcome back to the GSL Code S. It's time for our final match.
And it is a rematch that we saw before, and you know what? They kind of kept playing very similarly. I wonder if anyone's going to kind of
deviate from
maybe like do a hard counter to what their opponent was doing before.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, they're definitely warmed up now.
Should be the best games that they've had tonight.
I do think True will probably win this one.
You think so?
Well, I mean, let's look at what happened already today. So he already beat Bbyong, but beyond that, he had a really good series against Party.
He did.
That was actually the best series
he
he's had all day today.
He
should have won it.
Yeah, I would actually say that today.
I mean,
overall, today hasn't been the best games, but we've had a few really good ones. Like Parting versus True was very, very nice.
True was leagues ahead of everything else.
Yeah, those were actually really, really nice.
Think about being True in this situation. So you already beat Bbyong in what were pretty good games, actually. Then you had a fantastic series. And look, there's no shame in losing to Party, even if it's super close. I mean, you went 1-2 against the world champion from 2012.
Yeah.
And now what do you have to do? You have to go up in a rematch against the guy you already totally slayed?
Well, you know, maybe he will be feeling good about it because of that. But I feel like Bbyong can tighten up his play in a couple areas and do a lot better. Like, for instance, maybe focus more heavily on Hellions.
Yeah, that's certainly one thing he could do.
I wouldn't mind him mixing in something like a 2-factory Blue Flame Hellion because True is making a lot of Zerglings in the early mid-game.
That's very true. Let's see if Bbyong can adapt. One of these two players is going to go on to the round of 16 in his quest to become the best StarCraft II player in the world. The best esports show of all time here, the GSL Code S.
True versus Bbyong.
Alrighty, Tasis. Time to see what these guys are playing. Are we just going to see more Reaper openings from Bbyong?
Not sure, man. Not sure.
I wouldn't mind seeing True really mixing up. Maybe just go for some crazy old Roach Bane all-in or something.
True's playing a lot more standard than we thought he was going to, by the way.
Yeah, I guess.
We thought he was going to be a little bit crazier, more predictable. He's actually
still
just
being, I mean, like, remember Habitation Station? He was, like, super aggressive all-in.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're...
You know,
still,
he's been making more speedlings than you would normally would. So, I mean,
I just expected 1 or 2 more all-ins from this guy, but, I mean, what he's doing is working for him, so he should stick with it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, showing a little bit more depth, I guess, than sometimes that we've seen him before. Looks like another Reaper opening here for Bbyong.
There's a shot of me with my shirt on. It's basically what I look like.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
I have a sword like that, too.
You're hairier, but yeah.
Hairier.
Yeah, and you have a cape like that for sure.
For sure.
And wearing a cape with no shirt on is really the only true way to wear a cape, as far as I know.
Well, I mean, we're talking about mobility and, you know, just common sense. How am I going to fight? Well, I need to have a cape.
Yeah, but you don't want to have clothes on. They might be able to grab the clothes.
Yeah, they
like
might.
during the fight.
I wouldn't want to get my armor damaged either. I might as well just, you know.
Yeah, well, the thing is, if you get a scar, it just looks better anyways.
It looks cooler.
Who doesn't want a big scar on their
I've
chest?
been waiting to get hit in the face by a sword at least once so I can have that cool scar on my eyebrow, you know, over my eye.
Yeah, that's
God,
the best
I want one of those.
The best is when it changes the color of that eye, but you can still see out of it somehow.
Exactly, and the scar like is kind of a dark purple or something.
Yeah.
Kind of a lightning bolt going down
I want
my
one
face.
of those, but I don't want to go through the pain or the healing process.
Yeah.
So how do I do that?
I'm sure, you know, cosmetic surgery is really big out here. I'm sure we can probably go get a scarplasty.
Oh man.
Listen, make it
I wonder
look,
if that exists.
Make it look like an axe hit my face.
Yeah.
So we have the Reaper coming out here. We're gonna get
That's pretty awesome.
scarplasty, man.
I can imagine the tattoo artist or whatever it is that is doing this for you, the plastic surgeon.
Probably what you find out of scarplasty is you pay the doctor to hit you in the face with a broadsword.
Yeah, he just puts you under while
he's like, I have the easiest job in the world.
Yeah, and the most fun. I'm like, wow, you're sick.
Yeah.
All right, so some good micro by both players here. Not killing anything yet with this Reaper. Wow,
Yep.
Really, really on top of it is true.
It'll be a little bit harder now that all these Zerglings are bruised.
Yeah, it certainly will, but the Queen does pop out and still no kill.
Get that!
Doesn't get it. So that's pretty darn good save by True. I'm actually really surprised that 0 died there. Not even a Ling. Much better opening by True. He lost 2 Lings last time.
Okay, he's going to come in here again.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Oh,
One
gets a
drone bites
drone.
the dust.
And a Ling.
Oh, and I think they're all going to get out.
Yeah. All 2 of them.
High five.
High five and...
High fiving it, man.
All right.
Maybe fist bumping it, depending. Probably not a chest bump. That's
No,
probably
not
pretty
in Reaper
dangerous
suits.
with a Reaper suit on.
Jeez. No way.
Overall, though, True's defense has been pretty good, man. I mean, considering this is not easy to hold off.
2 worker kills is pretty nice. Back home, of course, he's doing what he does, that 3rd command center, going into what is going to at least look like Banshee. Doesn't, he probably will make Banshee no matter what, I would say, actually. Although in the very last game he played against True, he did skip the Banshee for some more Hellions. Whatnot. And once again, Bbyong gets home right before Speed finishes up.
And so now they're both going to get to power up. I mean, we have the Tech Lock Starport coming in here, Link Speed finishing, and the 3rd here for Trill just now starting.
So everything is actually looking like it has in the past. Let's see. Okay, here he goes again with his 2 Hellions and 3 Reapers, and that's fine. He moved out like this before on Yonsu, and it actually did some pretty good damage to the hatchery, which was kind of annoying. But he needs to make sure he doesn't just randomly lose all of his units to a bunch of Lings.
He wants to watch out for surrounds.
Yeah, because that's going to happen. We have, look, 18 Lings being made. This is like the same
game, dude.
Except we have Cloak on the way, so a little bit different from
here's the problem, though, is that if the Lings come out here and they still get a surround, yeah, the Banshee's helpful, but the Banshee won't do much more. The Banshee's not going to stop that Ling surround, and we'll let that pressure be aggressive.
Certainly.
So he still has to watch out for the same thing, basically.
Yeah, and you know what else he needs to do? He needs to finish his wall, and he needs to put a couple Marines in it, and you know, maybe even make a couple Widow Mines like he did on Polar Knight.
Sure. Now here the Lings. God, this is so similar to the other games we've seen. So he's moving out now. Again, the only addition is the Banshee. The Lings are going to counterattack, it looks like, and hit that 3rd.
This is reality that I'm watching.
Yeah.
Oh
my God, almost getting through there. Meanwhile, going hitting these drones. Really nice shot there by Bbyong.
Yeah, really nice job indeed, actually holding this off so well at the moment.
Is he going to get that other depot? Yes.
Yeah, he is.
Pretty sure he probably did by now.
These Hellions actually doing some damage as well. And he's actually not really microing over there, really a little bit more worried about at home, but he is doing some damage.
Yeah, it did come through here. Now the SCVs are being transferred to the 3rd here while he walls up the entrance to the main.
A lot of additional Lings flying up here right now. There's 40 Lings on the map. 7 Hellions and a couple Banshees. He might be able to actually micro against these quite well, but they're going to his 3rd base and he has nothing there.
Okay, so now he's going to wipe out these SCVs, and Bbyong's taking a serious hit. Kind of funny because this is what Bbyong was hoping to do to the Zerg, and now a surround!
Yeah, but this is actually really nice for Bbyong. He's going to be able to kill off every single Zergling
the angling there, luckily for him, he got enough of those back there. But still, a lot of SCVs being killed here.
Yeah, 15 SCVs being killed. That's actually a really big deal. That's like 15 SCVs is equivalent to something like 30 Lings for Price and Larva and whatnot. Larva. Oh, Max, sick. Okay, so I mean, this Ling harassment's been pretty effective, but still, it's 48 drones with 36 SCVs. There's 3 bases. He's going mech. He has Cloaked Banshees. I think it's okay. I think he's Bbyong has basically held it off. He's basically fine right now. And I think that mech is a pretty good choice, as long as these mutas don't mess him up.
Yeah, it's all going to be about these mutas, because if he doesn't have the proper air defense here, it's not like when Terran's making just Marines, right? And they can just knock off mutas over time as they continue to basically build the unit anyways that counters the mutas. With mech, if he gets, let's say that 1 or 2 Thors are going to be out here and then kills off a bunch of SCVs, Terran will not be able to recuperate.
Yeah, it's very, very true. Now, we actually have these Banshees doing some pretty good damage. The Ling's coming back and trying to get something done, but there's enough Hellions to hold them off for now. But the Banshees have chased a lot of drones out and killed a few drones as well, so a lot of lost mining time at least.
Cleaning up that Reaper over there. And, yeah, I mean, the attacks over here so far have just stopped. The Banshee's doing a lot of damage now.
Yeah.
And, that last Banshee, they're not killed just yet.
Well, you know what? The Banshees, they've definitely done their work. And look at this, a super oversaturated natural because he's had to run his drones away from that main base area.
So that one Banshee goes down, and it looks like the other one is going to try to come in here for some last-second drone kills. I mean, it's one hit away from anything, and it dies.
That's right, but getting a couple more drones, it's a pretty big deal. Every drone counts at this point, and the drone count has been kept down. Look at the worker kills tab for both of them.
These guys have both taken some abuse here.
They certainly have. But now we have a couple Thors out, and the entire army is 11 mutas at the moment, so we're going to have to see what True wants to do from here as far as tech goes. And, well, he does throw up that infestation pit. Wouldn't be too surprised if we did see some Swarmos.
All right, now taking out some SCVs. And, okay, this is what we were worried about here for Bbyong. You know, Bbyong has to, you know, be fine with mutas for a little bit until he can get that mech army up and running. You know, a mech army takes a while to actually pump out. It's not like when you get Marines and medevacs, which you naturally, you can have a small number, it's fine, but as they get bigger and bigger and bigger, you know, you're going to do better. Mech, you need to get mech in large numbers before it can become effective. It's not like a handful of units.
Yeah, it's very true.
Can, yeah, do the same.
It's really
kind of
more
damage.
effective as you max out.
Yeah, it gets better and better and better the bigger it gets.
Well, you know,
That's why when you lose a mech army, it's a disaster.
Indeed, it's generally game over.
Yeah, it's not like the infantry, you know, replenishable supply.
Very true, Taste is well said. We do actually see here, it's going to be Swarm Host popping out, and he has killed like 30 workers at this point, which, you know, it's quite a few, but still a healthy SCV count. The one thing I can say for Terran is he's got 2-2 already on the way, so very good upgrades incoming. But it's going to be a while before he can do anything. This should end up being an extremely long game because of these Swarm Hosts. There's just, the Terran doesn't have a single siege tank. So when the Swarm Hosts, when the Locusts start coming, what's he going to do? Kill them with Thors? You going to fight the Locusts with Thors, Bbyong? Yeah, I don't think so.
That's the ultimate challenge right there.
Yeah.
Kill a Swarm Host with Thors. Okay, so the Swarm Hosts are now moving up here to get outside of that third base. I think True's looking pretty good, Artosis.
Yeah, he's looking, yeah, I like his position. I definitely do. I think he's done a very good job with his Mutalisk harassment. His upgrades are a little bit behind, but that's okay considering what the game has looked like.
Yeah.
And, you know, the Swarm Host tech is what he...
This has not been the cleanest StarCraft II game. I mean, this has been a pretty down and dirty match.
Certainly. Well, you know what? This is some good harassment from Bbyong. Anything he can get in and do like that is very, very valuable right now.
If you can get the rest of those Swarm Hosts up with a small number that's already north here, oh my god, he's going to do it, Artosis. He's going to go for it. And he needs to get out of there because that's actually too many Thors.
Yeah, that was a smart move by Bbyong to just move forward there and get rid of these Swarm Hosts ASAP. But the Swarm Hosts going to be able to retreat. Thors take a moment to kill off all these Locusts, and then look at this, the fighting retreat of the Swarm Hosts.
And now it looks like they're going to get back into position here. He just needs to get enough Swarm Hosts to where the Locust are a number that's just insurmountable. He might also want to sync up the Locust coming out here.
That's actually true.
Because you don't want them all coming out at different points in time, or it becomes a manageable number.
Yeah, it gets a little bit wonky with the way that you have to micro them back and forth in a situation like this.
Yeah.
Now, smart move by Bbyong, actually taking down those rocks to slow down this huge amount of Swarm Hosts coming out. And he's finally getting some siege tanks out, so those will help as well. But already True is putting on a lot of pressure here.
Yeah, True's doing a pretty good job, and he is going to have that the fifth base actually up and running. Doesn't look like he's been able to use his fourth that much yet. Mostly just for the gas. He'll start mining those minerals a little bit later on.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's got 72 drones, so his economy's looking pretty solid, and it really is, gas is the limiting factor, especially against mech.
I think the problem for True, and probably one of the only problems he has right now, is he doesn't seem to have a substantial enough army to really shut down Hellion Harass.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like he's got this really deadly set of Locusts just constantly coming out right now from the Swarm Host. But back at home, he's actually taking a lot of damage here too. Kind of staying consistent with how this game started out. You know?
Yeah, it's a slugfest, back and forth all over the place. Well, these swarm hosts continue to shoot out just endless locusts. And oh man, that's a lot of damage. Like if he starts losing Thors, that's when you really know you're in trouble. But he's got a lot of siege
The funny
tanks.
thing though about these Thors is because it's these big, clunky, meaty units, he is able to kind of micro one Thor in and micro the other one out.
That's true.
So he's not losing anything, unlike if you're a Bbyong, right, where you start to get stuff shaved off.
I see what you're saying, but playing the hokey pokey against Zerg is not what it's all about, Jesus.
That is a factor as well. And I like just even having this little racks here to absorb the first few shots from the Locust.
Yeah. Quite a nice move indeed. So basically he's just trying to stabilize. He wants to max out and then start moving forward. And he's going to be able to do that between the landing of the barracks, the amount of siege tanks with all that splash damage. Eventually he is going to be able to walk forward and start pushing these guys back.
How many swarm hosts has he got down there?
I'm not sure. We haven't looked at the unit tab for a bit.
I think it might even be over like 15 or something. Man, it's a lot,
it's
a lot.
I would say it's certainly over 15. I think there's like 18. Oh my god, he's 35 right now?
What?
Insane. That is so many. That's actually like, yeah, he has 35. That is like just wild. Well, the Hellion flank on the swarm host. Oh.
It also would explain, since he has that many swarm hosts, why he doesn't seem to have any ample defense here at home.
Yeah, it would.
Almost his entire army is a swarm host, and then of course the Mutas VC chasing these Hellions here.
A lot of Zergs don't get that many against Terran when they go mech.
Right.
But you know what? The more swarm hosts, the better, man.
This looks like a BGH game I played against a computer about 15 years ago.
It feels like Nexus defense to me.
Yeah, it's like a use map settings.
Yeah. Well, you know what it's time for, Tasteless? It's time for Ravens. We need some point defense drone in here.
Yeah, that could definitely dry him out right on those swarm hosts.
And actually what we really need from the Zerg player is probably a little bit more than just swarm hosts.
Oh my god!
I only lost one. It's okay.
Oh, this is a lot of Overlords he's going to pick
That's
off.
That's a lot
here,
of Vikings. Oh my god. But we actually need to see some other tech. Like, I would really like to see him make a few Infestors. Infestor's going to be really, really valuable in this situation.
Well, I mean, he's got enough of a big mech army. This is what happens when you get a maxed out mech army, guys, is like the damage output's insane.
Yeah, it's the most insane in the game. Like, you just have so much splash going out.
Locust can't even, or Stormhost can't even move around.
Well, this is like the funny part about trying to do hit and run tactics with them, is that the Locusts actually are just like, they're pushing you.
It's kind of like with Colossus, where you eventually have this number that it's not exactly as effective.
Yeah, they clump up and it's like, well, did you really need 12 Colossus here?
And, wow, that's just... really goes to show you the power of splash damage there with those siege tanks. And now Bbyong's just going to go ahead and push in here where True's base is.
Yeah, progress being made. You know, the thing is, he's actually like sieging up this third base that doesn't even have that many minerals left, whereas Bbyong is just walking around the map killing bases. So definitely a mistake by True there to stay up there for so long. And by the time he gets back, is it going to be too late?
I think it is. The problem is like with this big ass mech army, he can actually take on just Locusts. That's why you don't just want swarm hosts alone. God.
It's a lot.
The thing is, look, they're all coming in a line. He's got the damage output. Look, the Locusts aren't really doing much of anything. They're kind of bruising that Thor in the very, very front.
Dude,
but in the end, they don't even kill that one Thor.
I'm just going to say, I think 35 is too much. I'm more of like a 25 type of swarm host guy.
Well, you know, it's nice, especially against a mech army. Let's say you get it with a few other units there together. But, you know, even that endgame army, Broodlords, you have the spine crawlers there with the swarm hosts and everything.
Certainly. Well, you know what? He is starting to poke away at this, but what does he have left? Whereas Bbyong is like mining plenty right now.
Nice job here kiting with the Vikings against these Mutas. And it looks like he might just want to push into the main here with the mech army. I mean, he's got to be careful. He doesn't want to get stuck. But at this point in time, it seems like his army is just strong enough he can actually eventually push over the Locusts towards where the swarm hosts actually are.
Well, I think that this is almost just like the elimination race. It's just he's gonna kill all the important buildings of True, and then he's just gonna like keep making units because he has an economy and be okay.
Yeah.
It's all True has.
Even sending the Vikings around here and wipe out the rest of these overlords. I mean,
well, he may as well land the Vikings and start killing some bases. Like,
yeah, seriously.
Look at all those locusts just flipping in the air, dying.
Yeah.
How many calories do these swarm hosts have to consume per
That's
brood?
a good question.
Like, how do they even, like, when they're not on
You gotta
creep,
eat a
how
lot
are they
of
doing
protein,
that?
man.
Yeah, they should, like, waste away, man. They, you know.
Now, I mean, there's really not much Bbyong can do to throw this game away. I mean, even I think if he lost his mech army.
Yeah, like, I think eventually, I guess he does lose it over the course of 1,000 years. These will occasionally get hits on the siege shay.
Well, now we see this army over here. Second mech army going to come down here and push the bottom right. There's not much of a story here to tell. Beyond what you're seeing here is just the swarm host. It's a huge, scary number. Is just not effective.
Well, you can't quite attack up a ramp coming around the side of the ramp. It's not going to happen. Well, it looks like we're going to see mech flank a Zerg army. It's going to be about the first time we've ever seen anything quite like that.
And this mech army might be small enough that, well, no, I suppose too soon. Because it might be small enough that there could be a little bit more damage dealt to it. But
and
wow.
Here's that flank. Oh my God.
Wow. This is pretty crazy. This is not something I get to cast every day, man. Well, this should be the GG moment here. He's going to clean up the rest of these swarm hosts, and there you have it.
GG. All right, good job by Bbyong. And, well, we might actually have a Terran going through Tasteless.
Very exciting stuff. He's only got to win one more game here. I could definitely tell you, though, True's aware of that mistake. That's just too many swarm hosts. That's a needlessly large number of swarm hosts. That's
Look, 35 is a lot.
You spent a lot of money to get that. I don't know if he accidentally ended up with that many swarm hosts.
I think he meant to.
It was a pretty action-packed series, right? I mean, both guys are taking heavy blows. There was a lot of back and forth.
The thing is, if he invested in some other units, then maybe he could have broken through.